Please consider liking the video and subscribing. Let's begin. Marvel Studios is in a weird state right now, with the release of its current film being The Marvels, which has mixed reviews. It's safe to say that Marvel is currently doing better when it comes to their TV shows. Shows like Loki and Echo were really well received by the fans, but perhaps one show that has a really interesting concept is Marvel's What If, an anthology-type show that explores the many different possibilities in the MCU. Season 2 was recently released over the holidays and was a success. So, with Season 3 releasing in the near future, I wanted to make a couple of predictions, even suggesting as to what episodes could be interesting. So, sit back and relax, and let's ponder the question, what if? Really quickly, I just wanted to share my thoughts on Season 2. I thought it was a really good season, and I think I enjoyed it just a little bit more than Season 1. At first, when the episode titles were released, they seemed a little underwhelming, but I gave it a chance and was surprised. I really wonder if Marvel does this on purpose. Also, my favorite episode from this season was, what if Strange Supreme intervened? I thought it was really cool seeing all the past MCU villains and just everything being blended together, like Hela's Crown, Mjolnir, Infinity Stones, everything just all together. Good episode. Also, I forgot to mention, episodes that probably won't be in Season 3 will be things like Spider-Man or the X-Men. I mean, maybe, but I don't think Marvel would go to that extent just yet. They'll probably keep it MCU-based, but maybe Season 4, who knows. Anyway, and with that, let's get to my fan prediction, Season 3. Yup, that's right. An episode I think that would be very interesting and kind of funny is, what if Howard Duck possessed the Infinity Gauntlet? Howard Duck is a very liked character in the MCU. With his comments and his chill persona, he would make a great episode. A lot of people, including myself, would love Howard to get his own show, since last time we got a movie, it didn't do so well. Anyway, in this episode, we would follow Howard as he is wandering the universe. He comes across the Infinity Gauntlet. Perhaps he stole it from Thanos or conned his way to it. With the power of the universe in his hands, what would he do? Well, I don't believe he would use it for evil. Instead, he would make the entire universe just chill and wacky and perhaps throw a big universal party with him as the host. During this giant party, enemies from the MCU would seek the Infinity Gauntlet from him. Howard would then have to defend himself and basically save the universe by combating the villains while using the Infinity Stones. Thanos would come back and seek revenge on Howard. Finally getting the hands of such power, Howard would kill Thanos and his legions. During this episode, we would also get a look at Duck World, an alternate Earth where everyone is a duck, and we meet others like Howard. I think this episode would be pretty cool and trippy. Let me know down below what you think of this one. Oh yeah, one I would definitely like to see. What if the Hulk turned against Earth? This episode would basically go into what if when Bruce Banner transformed into the Hulk, he completely lost his mind and was taken over by Hulk, Bruce no longer existing. The Hulk would go bonkers, thinking that everything and everyone is his enemy, including the people of Earth and the Avengers. This episode would take place after the first Avengers film. As the Hulk is running loose and ravaging the city of New York, the Avengers are dispatched to stop him. Naturally, they don't want to because they still think Bruce is in there. But once the Avengers approach the Hulk, he kills one of their own violently. Hawkeye. Sorry. We then see how the Hulk has destroyed most of New York, killing thousands of people, causing destruction. Eventually, he ends up wiping out most of the planet. As time goes on, people live underground. The Avengers have devised a plan to stop him once and for all. But it's too late. He is no longer the Hulk. He is now Maestro Hulk. Maestro Hulk is an evil version of the Hulk. Needing more power and more brute force, they bring in Happy Hogan, a purple version of the Hulk that is less powerful. This episode would have a darker tone, kind of like the what if Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands. The Avengers would lose to Maestro Hulk. I mean, come on, it's Hulk. Plus, Happy wouldn't be enough. I'm sorry, Happy. Anyway, eventually there are no more heroes or villains in the universe. Hulk drives himself insane and mad, and is forever forsaken to his mind. I know Marvel wouldn't do anything like this because, I mean, it's kind of a little too dark, but who knows? It'd be really cool. I'll have to wait and see, but let me know what you think of this one. This is an episode I'm kind of surprised that Marvel still hasn't done yet. What if Hydra won? Is a very interesting concept. The episode would take place after Winter Soldier, in a universe where Cap failed to stop Hydra from killing 20 million people who pose a threat to them, meaning important people were killed like Nick Fury, Maria Hill, and Tony Stark. While that's going on, Steve also fails to help Bucky remember who he is. The helicarrier crashes. Bucky still saves Steve like he did in Winter Soldier, but not because he remembers him, but because Hydra may have a use for him. We fast forward a couple years. The world has been taken over by Hydra. There is no government, no election, only one ruler, Hydra. This would kind of be like Wolfenstein, a game where it looks into the possible dark future where Nazis could have won World War II and asks the question, how would the world be if they did? So this episode would kind of be like that. All heroes and powerful figures executed in front of the public to show how powerful Hydra's rule is. And perhaps there are a few heroes left. We would see some of the remaining Avengers. Bruce, Black Widow, Hawkeye, and Thor have now gone into hiding. They devise a plan to bring down Hydra. With Captain America still missing, It's been a couple years since the heroes have been in the spotlight, all having death sentences waiting for them when they get caught. Now Hydra has become very powerful, creating weapons from the Infinity Stones and forcing Hank Pym to develop new tech for them. We then see where Steve Rogers has been all these years. Hydra has corrupted his mind the same way they did to Bucky. Years of psychological torture has turned him into a Hydra super soldier, an evil version of Cap who serves Hydra. With two super soldiers, Bucky and Steve, Hydra is virtually unbeatable. At the episode's climax, the Avengers would take on Hydra and their super soldiers. Of course, our heroes would come out on top and would try to break Steve and Bucky out of their evil state and restore them back to being the good guys. I would love to see an episode like this. Please let me know down below what you think. Okay, the next episode idea I feel like Marvel should tap into is Hawkeye's alter ego, aka Ronin, a violent assassin in What If Hawkeye Stayed as Ronin. During his time as Ronin, he killed many bad guys and took down many empires. We get a little bit of this in Endgame, so this episode will still follow the events of Endgame. Yes, Hawkeye got his family back from the snap, but during the 5-year gap, he was hired by Kingpin to do some of his biddings. Wilson Fisk does not like to leave loose ends, as we see in Echo. He sends a missile to Hawkeye's farm home that blows up his family. Of course, Hawkeye wasn't there. He was out on a mission. With his family now forever gone, he returns to his violent persona. Now, having nothing to lose, consumed by hate and anger, he goes on a killing spree again, this time targeting people who are close to Kingpin, who are corrupted. The rest of the Avengers think Clint died during the explosion, but Black Widow investigates, only to find out he's in fact alive. She goes out on her own mission to find them. Throughout the episode, she will follow his trail until she finally confronts him. When she finds him and confronts him, she's close to saving him, but Clint is no longer there. There's only Ronin. This scene would kind of be like the Anakin Darth Vader scene in Obi-Wan. Anakin and Vader being two different people, so the episode's final fight would be Black Widow versus Ronin in a fight to the death. At the climax of the episode, as Black Widow is close to defeating Ronin, she realizes that under all that hatred and anger, Clint is still there, but he's hurt and saddened that his family is forever gone. His only release is death. She kills her best friend to put him out of his misery of continuing to live without the ones he loves the most. Now, I know this episode's ending to be too dark and sad, but I'm a big fan of dark endings. People would go crazy. I would go crazy. Who knows? Let me know what you think. A character that was not used at all, in my opinion. Gore is a great villain in Marvel. So I'm thinking, what if Gore, the god, butchered all gods? Nice little wordplay. Now, this was his mission. In Thor Love and Thunder, in that film, he's angry at the idea of gods looking down on people, despite them praising them and praying to them. So his goal was to kill all of them. He failed, but in this timeline, what if he succeeded? The episode would follow Gore and pick up from the Shadow Realm, where Gore fights Thor and Jane, ends up killing both of them, growing in power from the Necrosword. Gore realizes that, now with Thor gone, no one can stop him, so he carries out his mission and travels the universe, slaying god after god. Eventually, Gore succeeds, killing every god in the MCU, freeing the universe from any sort of god that exists, but Gore realizes that without a higher order, there's more chaos. Yes, the beings of the universe can choose to do whatever they want, but there's nothing that keeps them balanced. But Gore doesn't stop there. He goes after beings who want to achieve god status and power, and in this timeline, Thanos will begin to search for the Infinity Stones. And in a long-running joke in the What If show is that Thanos dies extremely easily. Gore with his Necrosword would probably just slice Thanos in half. The legend of Gore is spread and throughout the whole universe. Many creatures and people across the universe praise him for his actions, freeing them from evil gods. Now Gore himself, a man, is being praised like a god. The episode's final scene would be Gore sitting on a throne looking displeased and conflicted, as we see billions of creatures from around the universe bowing down and praying to him. Finally, a shot of a giant statue built for him. Gore has become what he so dearly hated. I would like to see this episode about Gore, really anything about Gore. They just wasted him, man. Christian Bale killed that role. Me and a lot of other people feel the same way. We feel let down. A concept like this would be interesting to explore even more. Let me know down below what you think about this one. As I was sitting back and thinking of what the season finale could be, I needed something that would make people cry and just reflect. So I needed help. I went on Reddit and found this amazing idea. What if Batch 89 escaped? Shout out to Bronzeheart92 for this one. Now I wanted to expand on this idea. Batch 89 is the experimental group created by High Evolutionary and his plan to create a very intelligent animal race as part of his Counter-Earth. Batch 89 consists of Lylla, Teefs, Floor, and Rocket. In Guardians of the Galaxy 3, we wanted to see them to escape together and live a nice, peaceful life. But sadly, the High Evolutionary killed all of them. When Lylla was hugging Rocket, she was shot by the High Evolutionary. Shortly after, Teefs and Floor were killed as well. But in this timeline, Batch 89 successfully evaded and defeated the High Evolutionary and escaped into the galaxy. We follow them throughout their adventures, and we see how happy Rocket is. He's at peace. But we, the viewers, also see that this is in fact the wrong outcome and the wrong choice, because without Rocket, the Guardians would be lost. Without their leader, they would have perished encountering Ronan the Accuser. We come to realize that yes, Rocket would have been way happier with Batch 89 than with the Guardians. Deep down though, Rocket would feel a sense of not having a purpose in life. Eventually, fate would bring these two groups together, Batch 89 and the Guardians of the Galaxy. In a nice ending, we see these two merge. Well, I would really like this to be a really cool way. Shout out to Bronzeheart92. I think that was such a great idea. If you liked my episode's idea, Marvel, feel free to use them. Hire me if you want. Also, let me know down below what episodes you guys like to see and what if, either next season or beyond. I would love to read them. Also, thank you so much for the channel support, for the subscribers, the likes. I very much appreciate it. Anyway, take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.